Good morning, y'all. How we doing? Can I get a kachuya? Previously on Kimba TV. Basically, it's the volume, it's the range bound data points. So range, downside 7.5, upside 7.5. That's it. This is not a big move. So like watch. Let's say what do you think if I pull the fib from here to here? What do you think this is? All right. How we doing, man? Giovanni says, you know exactly the time when to enter. It's just math. It's just math, my boy. Yeah, I have pixel perfect top. What about you, Giovanni? It's gotta be testnet. Imagine if I didn't stream and like draw all this shit and I showed up and I told you guys, I have a pixel perfect short. Y'all be like, Cap. How? It's gotta be testnet. What the fuck was that voice? It's kind of weird. Ka-choo! All right, let me nerd out a little bit here. Let's get ready for, well, we already have a scalp short. Let's see if there's a scalp long. I mean, I don't think the levels or the plans really have changed, right? I mean, you've got the orange trend line. I don't know. I mean, I think if you lose the Bugatti dealership, you're still fucked. This is the right settlement, right? We did it yesterday? Okay. Fuck, I mean, maybe a bullish retest of settlement? I think that's kind of... I think if you're bullish, you're going to have to assume that the Bugatti dealership holds. I think you have to assume the Bugatti dealership holds. I don't know. This is kind of fucked. Okay, hold on. So if it really was, if it really was bullish, hold on, let me clean up. Okay, so it already filled the gap.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
It already filled the gap. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, it filled the gap. It's RTH, ETH closed the gap. Okay, yeah, so bullish retest of settlement or Liquidation Bugatti dealership. So yeah, bulls have to hold this. I think maybe I would allow like 1 or 2 30-minute candle closes, but it's got to snap. So it's just the Bugatti dealership, I think. I think it's always been like that. Bugatti, right? I think it's just Bugatti. Vital says top is weak. Yeah, I mean, there is a case for a bullish retest after the single prints are grabbed, right? Something like this. That's, if you're a bull, that's your best fucking shot. If the bulls do this, I'll see you at all-time high. Unless, Gat shows up and says some shit like that too. If Gat says it's all-time high, then it's probably a swing fail and we're going to go like this. Okay? So if Gat is bullish here, I wouldn't take it. Just wait for the pump, clean the high. Okay, if Gat gets bearish here, we're going to all-time high. Easy money. Juice. J6 says, I have almost Pico top short, but I'd be okay if I get stopped at re-enter if it's super bad high. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth taking a scalp long too if it looks good. J6. If you have a short from here, I think a scalp long here, if it looks good, is worth it. Yeah, but if this doesn't hold... Yeah, if the single prints don't hold, if like 105.8 doesn't hold on derivatives, then we'll be back inside of the levels again. So this would make the most amount of sense, but gotta be testing it. Yeah, so like, brother, have you been able to nerd out on like TPO, value area high, value area low? So value area high, value area low, your settlement, okay, is inside value, okay, but it's near value area low. If it would be different if it was like this, This would never want to do a bullish retest. This is kind of like maybe there's a chance that you could do a bullish retest. If it was this though, coming down here would be bearish. The fact that it's still inside of value, there is a chance that if you lose value area high, so this is value area high. Ideally, the most bullish thing will be to do this. If you can't hold this, you're probably going to like rotate pretty quickly to value area low, and then you would want to snap back and maybe something like that. So that would be bullish. This would be bullish. Bearish would be like, well, we talked about it, like coming back in and then can't get out. Let's go, juice! Juice, 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 juice. Here we go, chat. Here we go, cat feel not mine, chat. Cat feel not mine, chat. Hey, quit playing with me, Lions. WizTard is asking, is there a chance to SFP that last bad high before heading back down? Yeah, anything is possible, but at that point, you're looking at dip the tip and let it rip. So it might be a little bit more bullish. I wouldn't take a, I mean, if you get an SFP, yeah, but remember how we were looking for a scalp long at the Bugatti dealership? Yeah, this would be like a bullish way that the gap would react, brother. Or do you want to leave them like that for later? Well, we've only had market open for 15 minutes. So the best thing to do is, do you see where the open is? See how the 30-minute candle closes. WizTard, let the 30-minute candle close first. So if it SFPs, you're prepared to short, right? Like, if it goes to like the top of the box or whatever. And if it goes to the Bugatti dealership, you're ready to think about longing. Or not, if it doesn't hold. Do you, WizTard, I don't know if you're going to understand this, but this is one of the ways that you can kind of start to feel the bias. And it kind of seems counterintuitive. It almost seems backwards, right? If we go down first and we bounce off of the Bugatti dealership line, it's kind of bullish. If we go up first and we SFP the weekend highs, it's almost a little bit more bearish. Because it's like, wait a minute, why are they cleaning that shit from the weekend? Is it really that important? Why not just leave it like that? To go and clean it, right? So you like, that's how, if you're not thinking about it and anticipating it, right? Like if this starts dropping, imagine all the retail like shorters that would short the Bugatti dealership, for example. And we're kind of sitting here, you know, wondering if there's a scalp long to be had, right? Yeah. So, but you were here in the very beginning of the stream, correct, WizTard? So you know what I'm kind of looking at, and I don't know if the Bugatti dealership is going to hold. I don't know if settlement is going to hold. Okay, but I do. But you've been here since last week, right? When we were talking about, regardless of what the weekend price action was, I still would have shown up today talking about, are we above the Bugatti dealership or are we below? Do you remember what I kind of said about, you know, it's important to see where we open the RTH. And it opened above the gap fill. So yeah, at this point, you would kind of be thinking, okay, Bugatti dealership, scalp long, don't even close the gap. That would be pretty bullish. Okay, and if it goes down to the blue line first, then even if it SFPs, which I doubt it would, I would not short the level up top. Okay, if it goes up first and it SFPs, then yeah, there might be a scalp short reason. All right, make sure you're trying to get caught up. Everything is pretty much talked about, so let's get it.
Stop loss at
Stop the music. SZA says, why did you long the 107.1, the 7.5 retest? Still trying to learn. Above golden pocket. So SZA, there's a couple of things that I want you to do. The first thing is I want you to go to YouTube and type in Fibonacci in nature. Okay, and I just want you to understand why planets orbit in golden pocket, why insects and animals mate in golden pocket, why plants grow in golden pocket. All right, and I want you to understand how math exists in life and nature. Then I want you to type in Fibonacci in trading and Fibonacci in crypto, all right? So you have a bigger, more abstract understanding of Fibonacci levels, and I want you to zoom into just basic trading and then finally do the last zoom in, which is how Fibonacci is relating to like smaller time frame, basically. Like really crypto trading basically is like the smaller time frame, okay? But golden pocket turning into support is a very, very mathematical play. And when you make a higher high and you come back through and turn the golden pocket into support, usually what I'll do is I'll watch the golden pocket get tapped and then I'll enter at the 7.5786. Yeah, but at least this is what I would say. You would have had to have been bullish. I wanted to long the Bugatti dealership, but I didn't get it. And obviously, if you know what RTH dip the tip is, this is crazy. Okay? So I was thinking, wow, should I be longing here? I even thought about this pullback. Okay, but at some point, I waited till the very last minute to really get confirmation that it was bullish. So I was thinking, oh, I saw this reaction. I was like, no fucking way. You know, because I thought this would be like mega bullish. You know, so this is like, oh my fucking God. That is insane. Okay, but at least you understand that I took the long at 107.1. Did that make sense? But at some point, like this is a great example of you needed to have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. My plan A, the most ideal situation would have been to long this, right? Couldn't get it. Plan B was like this, but was way too quick. It was just dink. I was like, oh, damn. All right. Plan C could have been this pullback. Okay, but eventually I waited for the 7.5 to, so anytime it does this and it does that, or it does that, I'm going to take it. Okay, the easier part of the reason why I'm going to take this one is that this is the stop loss. But at least you understand. And at this point, I've already put my stop loss. Here you go. But at least you know that I got in at 107.1. And I didn't even get a full fill. But at least you understand it. All right. And I mean, this is extremely bullish. So I would think maybe at least 109. But we'll see. It has to get above value area high, that's blue line that we have. So just in case we reject off of here, I mean, if we can turn this bitch into support, oh my God. But just in case we reject off of range value area high, all right. Cowboy Crypto says 33X, you got to rewind and get caught up. Cowboy Crypto, you got to rewind and get caught up. We've talked about this all week. We enter at 7X, okay? It's part of risk management. So we enter at anywhere between 5 and 9X. Okay. And then we take off the margin. All right. We could do 33. We could do 22. We could do 44. It doesn't really matter. Because why do I need to have, so when I got in at 7X, I had like 500,000 on margin. I don't need to have 5,000 on margin anymore. My stop loss is in profit. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but I might want to short ETH. You know, like I might want to hedge and short Sol. So I don't need to have all that margin locked up in that trade. I want to move it to somewhere else. I'd rather wait for the 7.5, 7.86, but yeah, this isn't a bad area to take a short. Yeah, no short. I just don't know if ES is done. And I hate seeing highs like this, because as soon as you get above it, it's going to start a squeeze. So I don't know. It's tricky, right? Because you know that this guy has a stop loss here. This person has a stop loss here. Worst, best case, the selling pressure comes back before it violates any sort of like Fibonacci retracement. But yeah, it is below the orange line now, but I need to kind of give it a little bit more time. Yeah, and also I feel like hella people are going to short this because it's the point of control. So I don't know. I feel like my 3-year-old version or 4-year-old version probably would have shorted this. I think I would have gotten just squeezed. So I just don't know if S&P is done pumping. And that's the biggest thing for me, because today and tomorrow and really the whole week, I'm going to use S&P as my number one confluence. So I would like to see, do you see, I've had this level for a very, very, very long time, this blue line and this yellow. I could see an SFP here, just like how I could see like an SFP at around 60.55 Boo Gamma. So that would be maybe my short, Sophia, is this. Yeah, okay. But if you want to short, please do, okay? The whole point of this stream is if you do all your TA and all that hard work, and I say I'm not shorting it, and you decide not to short, completely meaningless. The whole point is to have confidence in what you see, okay? So it's a fine line between, you need to have faith and confidence in what you're doing, but you also need to have that self-awareness and self-honesty to be able to adapt and evolve. Alrighty, should we go let us up? Yes, yes. How the fuck do I pick so perfect top? How the fuck? It's gotta be testnet. Love my edge, I know it. No messy, I know. Kimba family, no stress or honesty. Killing trades. What do you think? It's a big trade and the gang them know. I wanted to stay on the 5-minute for you guys, but what do you think about the 30-minute, huh? Not too bad, huh? Huh? How many of you guys were here for all of this? You can just tell me, hey man, I'm a little bit more bearish than you. I'm looking for a scalp short. Tell me where. You can tell me, hey man, I'm a little bit more bullish than you. I don't want to shave there. I want to I want to keep adding to my shit. Where would you look for a scalp long? We're doing this all fucking week, all day, all night, all week. You guys locked in. It's FOMC on Wednesday. All right, bulls, bears, we're all lions. It's not about being bullish or bearish, long or short. If you don't know that this game is not about that, then you're still learning, I guess. So let's lock the fuck in. We should all be juicing. I don't care if you're in a long. I don't care if you're in a short. I don't care if you have both. I don't care if you're on the sidelines. I can't predict if this is going to be good resistance, but what do you think about the levels? Not too bad. Not too bad. If it is a swing fail, what does it have to do? Right? The first candle confirms, the second one, or the first one forms, the second one blank. Last but not least, the kicker of everything, whether you're in a long or a short, in 26 minutes, traditional markets are going to go bye-bye. All right. And an hour after that, futures will stop and it will be pure crypto. So Lions, stay safe. I have to dip out in about 5-10 minutes. However, I'm coming back in about 4 hours, 5 hours. So I'll do one outro song, but I'll do a proper outro later tonight. So hopefully I see you guys later, but I'm going to be out for about 3-4 hours. I'll be back. So Houston Cage is going to hold it down for a little bit. So you guys will be able to, is that a good high or a bad high? Bad high. You guys will be able to kind of guide each other through. You know, take it step by step. This is not going to be the first time you've properly identified a level. How many people in some shorts? You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter if you are, but this is not going to be the first time or the last time. This shouldn't be your first time, and this isn't going to be the last time you have pixel perfect identified a level and you might be in a short. So the game has just begun. You have bitten maybe the gazelle and it's bleeding, but you're not eating it, right? You're eating the gazelle when you've TP'd or shaved a good significant chunk. So don't be getting ahead of yourself and thinking that you're going to take this bitch down to 98. I would love to take this down to 98 now. Can you imagine a 108 to 98? It's got to be testnet. Can you imagine a 108 to 98? That being said, it's not like this is it. You know, it's going to make us work for it. Tuesday could also be the weekly high. All right. So level by level. The good news is in about 30 seconds. Oh, not yet. I thought we were already. In about 30 seconds, get your whole ass down there. Anyways, at this point, we're pretty close to stop loss break even. Right on cue. All right. So yeah, I mean, now we can't lose. What do you think? All right. And you should be thinking about if you do get stopped out, you know, how would you get back in? Clearly, it would be like another swing fail. So you already kind of should have levels marked out. And you're thinking to yourself, if I get stopped out, how would I get back in? You can chase it again with potentially a better entry on a sweep, right, of this high. Or you can get some sort of failed auction, 75786 retrace. It could go all the way to like 1082 and then bounce, right? Or if you still don't want to take that 7.5 or golden pocket because the high looks bad, then you always know that you can do the golden pocket bearish retest when it starts to lose structure. Even if I were to dip right now, the plan never changes. How you play this never changes. The planning and the anticipation never changes. You guys okay, right? Okay, the level, I did 99% of the work. All right, so the levels were pretty well figured out, I think. Right? Not too bad. On a scale of 0 to 10, what do you think about these levels? So you understand what I mean by it could be a failed auction, and maybe some of you guys are going to be like, yo, that high is fucked. Maybe it's going to sweep it during McCulley. Maybe it's going to sweep it tomorrow. So maybe you don't want to take the 75786 or the 886, but you rather take the golden pocket being resistance. Either way, you guys know how to do this shit. Okay? It's a Monday, so I wouldn't, you know, this isn't one of those trades where you say, hey, I'm mega bearish. This is going to go to 98 and this is the hill that I'm going to die on. No way. All right. What we did was we identified levels. We prepared. We took our shot. I have pixel perfect top. How many people think they have a better entry than me? Can I get anybody have a 108850? Anybody have an 820 or an 850 in between? Any numbers between 820 and 850? Joker got 800. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, how many people enjoyed the Fibception? 6 Sierra says 108754. You nasty, but Fibonacci. Okay. Anyways, the good news is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. See now there's too many. Now we might have to put stop loss at break even. There's too many of us on the boat. Too many of us on the boat. Too many of us on the boat. I mean, thank God. Yeah. Gat ain't fucking spitting out an entry. On God, if he says he's in a short, guys, close that shit. Maximize profits ASAP. Okay? Kimba, you're the only one shorting. If we get that, we're going to 98, okay? Easy money. What'd you guys think about all this? I got to get going. I'm going to do the outro music. Chat. We fucking did this shit, my boy. We fucking did this. Quit playing with me. Hey, stop loss at break even. You can't lose. If any of you shorters talk to me about, oh, I got round tripped or I lost a little bit, you're fucking stupid. So it is what it is, man. Ladies and gentlemen, all right? I love you guys. Lock in. And remember, nobody should give a fuck if you're in a long or short. Some of you guys are not in a short yet, right? That's okay. Some of you guys still holding on to longs from like fucking down like 103, 102, right? That's okay too, right? So just kind of zoom out. Don't get caught up in the 5-minute bullshit, okay? Zoom out. Enjoy. Start with things like, is that a bad high? Is there a chance that that's going to get clean? Do you think S&P is done? S&P looks goofy. S&P is probably going to get swept, okay? So, and the thing is like, let's say, for example, you do get round tripped or stopped out for tiny profit. Do you get got? Or are you ready to execute the next plan? Okay? Thinking that your first attempt is going to be a mega juicer, that is so spoiled and like completely naive. Like, there's no way, right? So first attempt, awesome. All right, we can't lose. And that's what we're trying to do. Just continuously putting ourselves in a position where we can't lose. And, you know, some of us, we're not going to get stopped out or round tripped, and we'll make it to Valhalla. All right, shout outs to International Lions. For those of you that aren't going to be here later when I come back, have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then for those of you that'll be here for a couple more hours, I'll see you guys in a little bit, okay? All right, give it up for Houston and Cage. Peace, everybody.